Okay, hello everybody. It's Jody McKenzie here. I'm back at YouTube again. I have been on a long hiatus and I have been dropping individual short videos from my Americorps experience over the last 10 months. I've basically been away, and this is supposed to be like an update video informing you of everything that's happened since my first one of when I was leaving for deployment. Um, I'm just gonna give more of a backdrop into what my experiences have been and like how I'm feeling about the program and just personal feelings. So, in Americorps, for the last 10 months, I was serving on my team of Wave 4. Um, we went through a lot of different changes. As you can tell from our videos, we lost a lot of members, like for various reasons, and our team went through a lot of different shifts and um, it just went through a lot of shifts and changes, and a lot of dynamics also shifted. So like, it's been one thing trying to adjust and adapt for each environment. Like in the team that I had before, I felt like I was more comfortable to talk, but now I just don't feel that as much because I have nothing against them, but it's like, I don't have my own personal best friend, so that's something that I had to get used to because all of my roommates that I've had, all the guys are pretty much gone. um I enjoyed the service. I think it's the kind of thing that I heard about before I joined, right? Where I was told that some people run into like Ameri fatigue or like volunteer fatigue, where you just keep helping people and you just like kind of like get sick of it, you know? But I think, and I understand, I'm trying to understand and be mindful of the people who are suffering. Like we got deployed to Hurricane Ida and those people were going through a lot, but it's like you're gonna reach a point where you just aren't feeling, that burning passion to help as much as you used to. Like, and it's a shame that that's happened to me, but I don't feel that same fire, inside of me to love Americorps like I did when I first started. Whether it's like the team or dynamics or just the job, it's just not the same. Um, I'm not saying it's a bad experience because it's still an amazing experience to travel and to see everything that you've never got the chance to normally see. Or, if you join the military, it's like you get to see parts of America you didn't even know existed. So that's a huge plus for me. Um, if I sound sick, I'm a little bit congested. So that's been one of the main things. I'd say another con is that unlike my traditional team, like I posted videos about that before, we were like a family, like better for worse, even if we hated each other, like we were a family unit. But like in FEMACorps, I'd say you're more just like coworkers. It's not the same level of connectivity. So that's something I had to adjust to, because it's like it really takes away from the experience, but I have to come into that mindset that traditional and FEMA are not the same thing. And that's something I stress to every new person that is interested in Americorps. Like if you're looking for more camaraderie, like friendship, like going through the hard times together in the woods, that kind of experience, like tools, hand, like boots to the ground, gun ho, traditional. And if you're looking for business, career oriented and goals and professionalism, FEMACorps, they're totally different experiences. Like, I'm glad I did traditional first and I got that experience, so that now I at least had that kind of camaraderie. So going into FEMACorps, I'm not as attached to this team as I would have been with my first one. It's totally different experiences. Um, I'm officially now an alumni, and I've been in FEMACorps longer than I was actually in traditional corps due to COVID. So I've been in FEMACorps since March, and it's about to be January soon. So that's 10 months, right? I'm a little bit more. And I was in traditional corps before COVID sent us home officially for just like 5 months, 6 months, which is insane to me. So I'm an alumni. I'm about to have 2 years under my belt. It was a hard experience. Like there were multiple times where I made mistakes, where I got anxious, or I didn't know how to handle something, and I just looked stupid. And I think that's the biggest issue that I had, the anxiety, especially in such smaller circles of teammates. It's like, you're gonna get relied on a lot more because there's less members. So there were times I wanted to quit. There were times that I wanted to like leave, and I as much as I knew it was hard, and as like even like public speaking, I'm garbage at that, right? So, in public speaking, like there were a lot of situations in Americorps where I was pushed to that line. Like I had to force myself to do things that I dreaded, and I just went to bed the nights before I had those presentations like, oh my god, I don't want to deal with this. So it really pushed me out of my comfort zone professionally, and it gave me a lot of skills, that I would not have normally gained. I even felt more comfortable around like the camera, or like more comfortable around like presenting to people, within the last 2 months than I ever have in my whole life. It's crazy, you know. So they really do teach you a lot of things like that. Um, a lot of hurricanes were hitting, so we got deployed a lot. We, for a small portion of time, we were actually, like I mentioned before, we were in New Orleans for Hurricane Ida, and we got to stay on our first like responder camp, and it was like constant moving from camp to camp because like nothing was ever consistent. So that was another thing that we had to get used to. Like when you're in a disaster zone, you're not gonna have access to a Walmart or like food or electricity or even like a sink or like a bathroom or even like warm water. Like a lot of things we take for granted. You know, these people who are these survivors, they lost that. So it kind of blows my mind that we were getting more resources than some of the people that we were actually helping, which is insane to me. But um, it was a good experience. You know, it was a good experience living in like that. It was really rough. We had a lot of late nights, but overall, I don't regret doing it. I just don't want to do it again. Um, it was a good experience though. We got to help out with so many amazing people. We got to meet people from many different branches of government. We got to meet people from the military, which helped me for my personal career of going into the army. We got to like talk to like insane amounts of hurricane survivors, you know, and to really connect with them. We saw people at their worst. We saw people at their best. We saw like the darker parts of humanity, and we saw the good parts of humanity, like neighbors helping neighbors. But we also saw people like cussing people out, or you know, very racial remarks, or like very offensive propaganda. Like things like that happen when people are pushed to their edge. So I really think that that span of time working for the deployment of Hurricane Ida really was the defining moment for our team. Um, and with our last deployment, we were actually serving with the Red Cross again, because for round 2 we were with the Red Cross, and round 4 we were with the Red Cross, and we got to give presentations to children. I again don't like public speaking, so there were multiple chances that I was trying to avoid, but I couldn't, and I pushed myself to do these things, you know, and it really helped me get better at it, or at least get better at confronting that anxiety, you know. So I think that round 4 really, because it's not done yet, but that round 4 with the Red Cross, like it pushed me to my mental limits, because I don't have the same support system that I did in round 1 and 2. Also in round 3 we were so busy, we didn't have time to really think about things like that or to be anxious, you know. It was like you do it or you don't do it, you know. You didn't have time to like think about it, which is crazy, because I handled public speaking better when I wasn't thinking about it, because it was just so busy with the hurricane and everything, and communicating with people. I just didn't think about being anxious because there was so much work. But because like round 4 with the Red Cross was like, this day you're gonna have this many people, it was like more built up in my mind, and that made me more anxious for certain things. So I have to, if I'm gonna rank every round that I've had since I left for FEMACorps back in March, that's crazy, that first video, so many things happened. I'd have to say like the best round was round 2, followed by round 3. Round 2 was the best round for the people that we worked with, Red Cross that we worked with. They really showed us a lot of cool things. We got to go on a roller coaster for free. It was insane. Hershey Park, amazing, dude. So round 2 is number 1. Round 1 is number 2, because like the work was boring and dull as hell, but like we met so many amazing good people and made so many memories in round 1. Like there was a guy I met, his name was Mark. Like him and I, we really clicked, and I don't see him every day, but like Mark, you're gonna watch this. He is one of the few people that I like actually connected with, and like Jake too, and like another person named Isabella. Like they were cool as hell. Like I really vibed with them. Like we had this whole connection thing. I just wish we got more time, you know. I don't, it's probably fine, no one watches my videos. Then after round 3, I'd say my least favorite round, like, so it's round 2, round 1, and then round 3 was kind of like third place, you know. Like it was hard, late nights, so it's like it was cool to get that experience working on the ground with FEMA, but at the same time, would I go back to that? Hell no, you know. It was rough as hell. Like I got the least amount of sleep, the least amount of food, and like the least amount of exercise in round 3 because it was so intense, you know, because it's naturally so, because it's a hurricane and people need help. And then the least like round is round 4, you know, the one we were just doing with the Red Cross, because it just didn't really jive with me. I was looking for more like boots to the ground, you know, not really like talking to kids, and because that's not my thing. But it could be for other members of my team, they love it, but for me personally, that's not me. So round 2, round 1, round 3, and round 4. Currently, we actually are getting deployed to help out with the tornado that just recently hit. So my whole team is now, we're gonna have a split round, and we're gonna get sent to Kentucky to help out with the relief efforts, which is gonna be pretty damn cool. You know, like I don't like IR, which is individual assistance. It's like helping out with the day-to-day of people on the ground. But like I prefer disaster assistance because you're like knocking on doors, versus individual assistance where it's like you're at a building on a computer all day. You know, I prefer DSA work, which is what I would recommend to people who like being outside. But at the same time, it's still good to have this experience. Coming off that conversation off the professional level, I'd have to say socially, you know, things didn't work out. Like the girl I had on my channel, things ended with that. Totally fine. Things happen. It's in the past. Met new people, new experiences, just focused on myself and having fun. I really tried to, it's like this round, this whole experience, everything I did in FEMACorps, it's helped me become so much more mature as a person, you know, like, it really pushed me. Like, it really, like inside, like, I think I feel more comfortable in my own skin, and I feel, like, overall more confident and just more, I feel more confident and just more, like, charismatic now than I ever did in traditional. It's like I was able to actually reinvent myself with Americorps, which is such a beautiful thing. So to everyone out there who has seen some of my videos, or you know, they're not sure if they want to join or not, like, I heavily recommend joining. I heavily recommend the experience, preferably, like I've said before you enter college, or after you're finished with college. Like, you don't want to be doing Americorps in between. It's just easier that way. I got some questions before about like relationships in Americorps. Kind of hard to hide as well, because it's like the people that you're training with, everyone's gonna see things, you know, like your team is gonna notice certain things, like your friends are gonna notice certain things, like your TL is gonna notice certain things. Like, it's almost as if it's impossible to hide, but you should still keep trying to. So yeah, like, you can do whatever you want. Like, you just have to go to another hotel, you know, or maybe try to sneak them into your room and take that risk. Like, either way, I did both. So like, either way, it's like, it doesn't matter, you know, like, just do whatever you feel comfortable doing, and that person, you know. I got another question about food, and yeah, you do cook team dinners. Like, you're gonna have to take the time, because everyone's scheduled a day to cook, and you get your groceries the week before, and you basically take some of that grocery money for team dinner, and you cook your own meal. I'm pretty boring. I cook the same thing every time, and I've told my team that I just cook chicken, you know, and they might hate it or whatever, but that's just what I do. They cook stuff too that I didn't like, or maybe I did like it, but I eat everything. So as long as you have like a team with people like me, you'll never be a bad cook. But if you're not good at cooking, like, I would recommend like getting a little practice in some of the basics, or maybe even like pick up some cooking skill that you can bring into Americorps, because like, it sucks if, you know, you have that pressure on yourself like I did in traditional, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But now in FEMACorps, I know how to cook like chicken, mince, rice. Like, I know how to cook these things, you know. Like, there were a lot of abilities that and this is my personal opinion, like, I know how to do a lot more stuff than my team even knows, but I choose not to like exhibit those things, because it's like, if you do, you know, they're gonna like become reliant on it, you know. So it's like, you never want to be like, oh, I'll do everything, you know. But it's like, do enough, you know. You don't want to be like kissing the TL's ass. You don't want to be like an overachiever. Just do your job and like just go to your room after. Like, try your best to just like avoid drama, avoid extra stuff. Just do what you need to do, and then leave it alone, you know. Because it's like, every time I've tried to take that extra mile, it's just ended up biting me in the ass. I've kind of seen it in the same regard as like what I've heard about soldiers in basic training. Like, in basic training, don't try to be like that Captain America running dude in the front all the time, because then they're going to get used to that. But just try to do just enough, and still try to improve yourself, but on a more personal level. You don't need to be like hollering all the time, like, hey, look at me, I can do this and that, you know. Some people do, but that's just not me. It depends on the person. Yeah, this is a Union Civil War hat too, so I'm a very big video. Currently, the date is December 29th at 10:33 p.m. It's my birthday, so as of this video, I'm officially 25 years old. Damn, that's crazy. So I'm 5 years away from 30 now. I feel old, but it's good to have this birthday and this break between Americorps. Am I looking forward to going back? Sort of. Like I said earlier, I'm kind of finished with the program mentally. So like I'm already checked out. I see it as just a job now, and I'm just going in every day, just do what I need to do, and then I'm leaving. Like I have the experience of friendship or family. It's just kind of dead at this point for me. And that's not to say everyone is, because you know everyone has different experiences. But based on what I went through throughout the last 10 months, which I'm not going to talk about now, but I'll talk about that when it's over. Like I'm just kind of in that stage where I'm undone. You know, I just want to go home. I just want to like live a normal life and make my own money again. You know, not just like I know the Americorps is not a job, but like you know, I'm a little older, so it's like it's one thing to be 25 and wanting to start your professional life versus like 18, 19. It's different mindsets, you know. So yeah, it's crazy. That's all I had to say. I might be posting something else pretty soon. God, I could have sworn I had something else, but I appreciate everything. You can follow me on Snapchat, jdog826262, link in the description, and follow my YouTube channel.